I've been working with estheticians around the world, and they've told me their clients who use Botox regularly have weak, brittle skin, and it's difficult to work with. What is Botox doing to weaken the skin? If you think about it, it's actually pretty obvious. What does Botox do? Botox paralyzes the muscles and inhibits contraction of the muscles. Now, the lymphatic system, which is super important in the face, relies on muscle contraction to clear lymph fluid. So you have inhibited muscle contraction leading to reduced lymph clearance. Now, where does the excess lymph go? Well, the free fatty acids in the lymph, which is a big component of the lymph fluid, goes into the fat cells. They take up the free fatty acids and they become bloated. And as you loyal viewers of Educator know, bloated fat cells equals weak skin. That's right. Bloated fat cells tell the fibroblasts in the skin to stop making collagen, stop making elastin, and start making enzymes that degrade collagen. So that's the path between Botox injection and weak skin. Here on Educator, we like to base everything we say on published, peer-reviewed literature. And it would be nice to go to a paper that demonstrates exactly how much Botox injections in the face reduce lymph clearance. The problem is that study has never been done. It's possible, you can do it, but no one's bothered to do this. I found a peer-reviewed paper that identifies this hole in the scientific literature. Let me read from it. It has been striking that while a few reports examine the effects of Botox on the blood vasculature system, such studies have not been performed for the lymphatic vasculature. Does that mean we give up, we go home? No, that just means we have to dig a little bit deeper. And digging deeper, I found a paper that provides clear evidence that Botox injection inhibits lymph flow and causes swelling. So the paper is called Non-Allergic Eyelid Edema After Botulinum Toxin Type A Injection, Case Report and Review of the Literature. So this is our subject. It's our case report, a woman who got Botox injected into her crow's feet. You see in the top images are before the Botox injection. You can see she's smiling with her eyes. She doesn't know what's about to hit her. The middle image is 3 days after Botox. You see the darkness and swelling, especially in the upper eyelids where it's very prominent. And then the bottom images are 2 weeks after the Botox injection. And you can see there's still significant swelling in her face. Now, when she went back to the doctor, they were able to treat her successfully by forcing her to blink. And that contractive force of blinking helped clear the lymph fluid. They also did some hot water treatment, but the blinking is what did it. Blinking forced the muscles to fight through the Botox and clear the lymph. Now, the great thing about this paper is they also clarify how representative this case is of the general population. They found a peer-reviewed source, a meta-analysis, that looked at Botox injection only in subjects who were getting it for the glabellar lines and the crow's feet. And in this population, about 1.4% of the subjects got clinically relevant eyelid edema. The clinician could see it and noted it. Now, what's also really interesting about this meta-analysis is that in the Asian population, the incidence of eyelid edema was much higher, more than double, 3.1%. Now, why is this the case? Because Asian subjects have eyelids with a different structure than Caucasian subjects. When they blink, the blinking produces less contraction, less force to clear the lymph fluid. And so they are more susceptible to the Botox effects. So this makes it clear that the mechanism by which Botox inhibits clearance of lymph fluid, leading ultimately to weak, brittle skin. Now, what do we make of the 1.4%? Is that a lot? The way to think about the 1.4% is this is the proverbial tip of the iceberg. These are cases that are so obvious that the subjects are going back to the doctor and saying, look, my eye is swollen, do something. Now, in subjects who don't get clinically significant edema, so the swelling is not visible, they still get a reduction in lymph clearance. Maybe it's 50%, maybe it's 30%, but they're getting it every time they get the Botox injected. And as we saw from a previous educator episode, you only need a 10% increase in the size of the fat cells to change their behavior, to make them pro-inflammatory, to start the process of weakening the skin. This explains why the estheticians are seeing weak, brittle, difficult skin in their subjects who get Botox injections repeatedly. And I know that some of you are thinking, Yvonne, duh, of course. You guys who are doing face massage, who are doing gua sha, know that stagnant lymph equals weak skin. This is novel ground. I don't know that anyone has discussed how Botox creates weak, brittle skin. And so let's discuss it. I want to hear what you think. And as always, thank you for your tremendous support. Take care.